Hi everybody, welcome to Anat5 or Human Biology. I'm your instructor, Megan Knoll. I am an adjunct with MPC. I've been here for 4 years. I also teach high school, I also teach health, I also teach biology at MPC. I teach whatever fun life science classes you got. That you are seeing me in what used to be called Human Anatomy and Physiology and now is called Human Biology. So welcome, you're in the right place if you're here for Anat5. So today's little blurb of a video is just going to be talking about some logistics, and then really the rest of the beef of this course, the work of this course starts on Monday. So let's kind of just make sure everyone has what they need to get started and have a successful semester. So it's going to start in Lobo Apps and going to Canvas. You may be saying, hello, I obviously accessed this video through Canvas, so I already know this, but I also sent it in an email, or will have by the time you see it, so it's all good. So remember that Canvas shows you all the classes that are active. If your instructor or your professor, whatever you want to call them, is doing their class through Canvas, which I think everybody is, and it's an active class, you will see it here. I've got 3 anatomy sections this semester. No matter which of these 3 sections you're in, you're getting the same information and the same assignments, etc. I love you all equally is what I'm trying to say. So let's just use 0007 as kind of the model because it's first. It's fine. So what you see when you click on Canvas, remember when you are going into the course, it's best if you start at home. Some people like to start under assignments. That you will see does not give you as much information. So first of all, a lot of these things you don't see yet because they're secret and they haven't been released, because if I release the entire course all at once, it would be terrifying. It's terrifying to me just to look to see the entire course all at once. So it'll be instead doled out week by week. But so that means all you're seeing so far is this part, which is the introduction to me. I go by, I actually don't care what you call me name-wise. I'm not a doctor, so don't call me doctor. That will be important if you're ever like, I'm going to ask my anatomy professor about this rash. Okay, I will just think it's fascinating. I'm going to tell you now, I think things like that are fascinating. I have no recommendations other than that, go see the doctor, okay? That kind of thing. I've had students in the past be like, well, but I brushed my tooth and someone with HIV brushed their teeth with my toothbrush first, and I have no way to respectfully say that's terrifying, like a real doctor, so make sure you talk to a real doctor about that kind of thing. If you want to show me cool, weird diseases, that's exciting. A student in my last section of this class discovered she was diagnosed with an interesting and rare connective tissue disorder, and I was worried. She was like, look what I have, and I was like, oh no, but it turns out she's fascinated by it too, so we just geeked out about it. I'm here to geek out with you about anatomy, not diagnose, so do keep that in mind. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Let's get back to the class. Okay, so you may have already looked at this because I made it active before the course started. So the syllabus for this class is here. And we're going to come back and talk to that. Where there's a whole separate video just talking about the syllabus, so that's fine. You can watch that. Really, the important thing about this week being Friday, Saturday, Sunday, is you need to make sure you have access to the book if you do not already. And remember, you access the book if you bought it through the school library. Cool, good for you. That's a good way to do it. It also tells you what is required. If you didn't, you can buy it just by clicking on this McGraw-Hill link. You're going to see a different interface than I see because I'm already connected. And if you haven't connected at all, you probably see a page that looks very similar to this. A student sent me this, which is very helpful, so thank you to that student. Ooh. And okay. Look, I'm like a grandma and I don't know how to handle sizes. Okay, so you're going to see several options. You're going to see you can either enter the access code that you got with a book that you already bought. So it'll be a 20-digit access code. You just put it in, you hit enter, boom, you're done. If you have no access code yet at all, even if you have an account with McGraw-Hill, in order to access our course material, you have to purchase the book because capitalism. And so if you need to go and do that, you can do that here. Apparently it's still $72, so that's nice. We thought it was going to be much more. And that'll give you access to the textbook and all the online assignments. If you want to buy a physical copy of the textbook and you've already bought this access, I think it's like an extra $20. Do whatever you got to do. And if you're having financial difficulties, because hello, 2020 is not being nice to anybody, you can get temporary access to the book so you don't get behind. And I'm going to give you links to resources that MPC is providing so that you can make sure you have a successful semester no matter what state of your finances or anything. MPC is very dedicated to make sure that you have a good semester, at least mentally, health-wise. It's still up to you to do all your studying, but MPC wants to make sure you have access to food, textbooks, technology, anything that you actually need that is harder to access right now because of all the weird things happening in the world. So if you, one of those things is money for textbooks. So if you're taking a certain number of units, you get a certain amount of money to spend on textbooks, especially if you get financial aid. And so do make sure you check out those links. And if that takes some time, make sure you get temporary access to the book first so you don't get behind. One of the worst things you can do in this class is get behind because there is just so much material going on. Okay, so let's say you've gotten all this access. What else do I do this week, Noel? What do I do? By the way, I didn't finish that conversation. You can call me Megan, you can call me Professor, you can call me Noel. Most people end up calling me Noel, which is my last name. Fine, I don't care. It's fine. I'll know who you're talking about. But does that mean you say are we going to have in-person, like Zoom meetings? Absolutely not, unless you come to office hours. Remember, you can find the office hours on the syllabus. Okay, so there's 3 different office hours you can choose from based on what works with your schedule. If you never come to office hours, that's fine. I'm going to assume everything is great and you're doing your best and everything's fine. If you come to office hours every day, also fine. Guys, I live alone with my dog and some cats, so that's just more interaction for me. Either way, there's no judgment involved with office hours. If you want to come and talk about as much anatomy weirdness as you want to, if you want study tips, if you want to learn more about access, I am here for you these hours, okay? I do also teach high school, but it totally works with these hours, and everything's fine. Okay, let's keep going. What am I going to talk about next? Okay, cool. So we talked about the syllabus. We talked about the textbook. What do I have to do this week, Noel? Okay, you need to this week make sure you have access to the book or at least have plans for access. I would say if you don't have access by August 23rd, that is a very big problem because you're already going to be a week behind in assignments, okay? So because one of the first things you can do this week, if you already have access to the book and your other classes haven't started and you're just wondering what to do next, you can do this lab tutorial. And what this is a tutorial on how our virtual labs run. So what you'll see is it'll say launch. If it says launch, you've connected to the course and you're all good. If it doesn't, something happened, you either talk to me or talk to the Canvas or McGraw-Hill support people. They're all here waiting for you to, again, everyone's lonely right now. Talk to everyone. So you're definitely going to see a different access point than this. Okay, so this is telling me 8 students have access to the book in this section, but no one has started this assignment yet, which is good because it doesn't even open till tomorrow. Because I'm recording this on the 13th, not the 14th. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you what you should see once you start this. And then to do that, I have to go here. So this is the screen you should see once you get in there. And what this is it's showing you how laboratory simulations work. Our labs are going to have several different parts, and one of them is the simulation. So what first thing you can do is go through and read how these simulations work. Okay, so there's going to be a part, there's my face. You go down, there's going to be a part where it talks about key concepts, the overview, before you commit, blah, blah, blah. Once you go through just reading these things, don't worry about reading the grayed out stuff. This is just using this lab as an example. It's going to go in and tell you what to do next. Blah, blah, blah. Just read the instructions. I had a student this summer who just tried to zoom on through and didn't read anything and had a temper tantrum when she couldn't figure out why it wouldn't advance. And she said that the whole thing's broken. No, she just didn't follow the instructions. Literally, it will tell you everything you need to do. Okay, so just follow the instructions. It is all good. It's going to tell you to do things like whatever. It just follow. Different labs are going to ask you to do different things. Some labs will actually be testing your own skills. Like we'll be testing how well do you see color? How can you do certain things with muscles, etc. Nothing weird. And so that there you go. It's going to teach you things like that. And then at the end, it's going to have some sort of it depends on the lab. There's different things happening in different labs. And what is going to happen at the end is I'm going to get a report of if you did it or not. So for these little lab simulations, all that it's going to do is tell me if you did it and some of them have different scores. This lab is not an assigned assignment. It's an extra credit lab if you want to do it. How do I know that? Oh, it's not in the syllabus as an assigned lab. Okay, so if you're ever wondering what do I absolutely have to turn in, these are the things you absolutely have to turn in. So for this first weird 1-day week, this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there's nothing you actually have to do. I'm going to go ahead and update this with lab tutorial. Optional, but recommended. That's not how you spell anything. There we go. Good. Okay. Cool. Okay, so starting next Monday, midnight on the 17th, you're going to see another module, another set of assignments open up. Okay, so week 2, you're going to see all these things plus more that I haven't added yet open up so that you, starting on Monday morning, you can go into all the material that's going to be due by the next Sunday. Okay, so the way our class works is you get a week's worth of stuff and everything is due by Sunday. So please make sure you plan your time wisely because this class is asynchronous. That means that I am not going to be sitting watching you to make sure you do your work. First of all, I think that's creepy. Second of all, that's just not how it works in the world of Zoom right now. Okay, so you're going to be having, when you look at the lectures, there's going to be, in each time when you look at, almost every time when you look at lecture, there's going to be a little, there might be some text kind of preamble. There's going to be the slides for you to download. A lot of students found it very helpful to download the slides and then write on them. Okay, that's actually really good for your brain for you to write them physically. You could also just like the slides should be labeled by number, I believe, and so you can also just write in a notebook or something like slide 1 blah 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 blah, slide 2 blah blah blah. Okay, whatever works for you study wise, but I don't recommend just watching the lecture video. You're gonna have to do a little bit more than just watching the lecture video because that is very passive learning and it's not gonna stick in your brain. Okay, I do a lot of passive learning to learn like random weird things like how orchid seeds work. And then later I'll be like, oh, I learned a thing and I don't remember it. Thank goodness I don't have to test on it. But you're being tested on this stuff. So you need to make sure you're using good study skills to do all of these things. There's a mosquito. Okay. Okay, what else? Usually there's going to be an instruction at the end of it. All this stuff's about next week. We're not going to talk about it too much. For this first week, this very short Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of week, you just need to make sure you either have access to the book or you are getting access to the book. Go over the syllabus, and then if you have time, also go through the lab tutorial just so you can make sure your computer also has all of the updates, etc., that it needs to run the tutorial successfully. Because if not, we can talk to technology, or you might have to just run some updates on your own computer to get everything running. Okay, so that's the first week of this class. I'm very happy you're here. I'm very excited about this semester. It's going to be weird, but we're going to make it work. And if you have any questions, let me know. I will be back on Monday at midnight with another fun video. What will happen? Will my cats interfere? Will my dog bark? Who knows? Come find out next week's video. Bye.